Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my Pixel Quest. Welcome back to our blind playthrough of the Chants of Sennaar, a marvelous, rich, thoughtful, fascinating game that I wish would go on forever. Quite frankly, I'm having such a good damn time with this game. I hope you are too. My god, I love this game so much. I wish this tower was like 100 levels. I'm really sad to sort of know that I'm on like what I think is going to be the last level, but I don't know, I don't know how big it's going to be and I don't know what else, what else is in front of us. So anyway, we're putting that aside because I don't want to feel sadness at the end. I want to feel gratitude and and excitement at what I have done and where I am and where I'm going. So I have all of those feelings. I've just started the game up again because I'm starting my playthroughs on a different day to where I was in the last episode. So the game has started me here. Yeah, that's right, which is at the beginning of this scene. This is kind of where we finished the last episode. So this level is doing my head in a little bit because obvious, right? It's doing my head in a little bit because this is incredibly different to everything that we've encountered so far in the game. Of course, every level has been very different in its own way to the previous levels, and every language has been very, very, very unique, and every culture has been very, very, very unique. But this is different in some new ways. This is different in obviously ways I can't quite wrap my head around. I'm wondering if what we're seeing here, I've got a lot to sort of think about here before I even really get started. I'm wondering if what we're dealing with is maybe there's an element of digital reality here. I don't know. These people seem to be in exile. This area seems to be a kind of exile. However, it doesn't seem like it's always been exile because, without going back to the first area that we went into, hang on, let me look at something. Alright, so we just solved this puzzle, which is super cool. It's just delivered a whole bunch of new words to us. But what I wanted to look at was this. Yeah. Alright, because this thing up here, this description up here, I think is the name of the tower. I think it's whatever its original name is, it's what the tower is called. So it's Sun something something tower, and that was what was written on the big map of the tower, or the big diagram of the tower that we encountered in the first area of this level. But then it had stuff added to it in red, red pen, red marker, red spray paint, whatever it is, and that was the stuff about exile. So I guess the way I'm reading this is originally not exile. It has somehow become exile. Or, is it actually... Here's a question. Is this area exile from the... Just speaking theoretically, hypothetically, conceptually, is this exile from the perspective of the oppressors? As in, have people been exiled here by a different group of people? And do those people think of this and call this and treat this area as exile? So effectively exile is sort of different to a prison, but let's just say in conceptually sort of like a prison. Or are these people who are here the ones who think of this as exile? So I guess what I'm saying is a top-down view of exile or a bottom-up view of exile. Are these people here for whatever reason, as in maybe they're not forced to be here, but they're here, and they themselves consider this exile? In fact, it could even be that they are exiling themselves. This is a possibility, so I don't know. But either way, what I think I'm sort of sure of is the fact that this tier maybe wasn't Exile originally. Exile, its framing as a place of exile seems to have been seems to be not how it was originally conceived or seen. Or it could be people, it could have effectively been a place for exile. However, it was not, like, they were using propaganda to call it something else. And then the graffiti that we saw on the map originally, or the diagram originally in that first area, could be reflecting the fact that people have realized it is exile. You know, like, we've seen instances of oppression and of resistance in other tiers. So it could be kind of the same thing going on here. It could be people who are reflecting and, you know, thinking critically and going, yeah, you're calling this the whatever, but actually this is exile. That's what's actually going on here. But maybe it was sold to them in a different way. So that's something. Yeah, like, so are we dealing with, I guess, are we dealing with a kind of a digital reality here? You know what, like, I've got to remember, Sun is my own guess. Sun is, this first character being Sun is my own guess. I did not remember that. I'm glad I have reminded myself. I was like, where did we get the character for Sun? Because these ones that we got here is make, create, talk, me, key, and men, human. All right. Let me step away from thinking about the concept of this place and actually go back to the language for a second. So we have some unknowns. These are the first three characters in, I think, the name of this tower. Maybe this is Sun, but actually, to be honest, I can't remember why I even think that. I've totally forgotten why I came to that conclusion. So anyway, but it is tower. So it's something, something, something tower. Now we have some new things here that can give us, some ground to stand on here when we're thinking about what's going on with this, the structure of this language, the meaning in the design of these characters. So we have, it is apparent, several characters that are based around crosses. We have confirmed seek, make, and exile. That's interesting. It could be that these are verbs. It could be that the crosses are verbs, actions. Exile as in not a place of exile, but to exile. It could be. We have some characters that have a horizontal line on the bottom. I don't know if that's indicative of anything yet, but just noting that we've got three characters that have that. Key, mystery, and people. Let's just throw it out there. Could be nouns. We have, it seems to be very different from the word for people, but we have this character that has a vertical line. That's it. There's nothing else to compare this to, so there's no pattern within this language to really make from that, I think. Apart from me. Maybe, you know, man, human, me. But I guess what I'm thinking, you know, vertical line being part of a character for person has been present in many of our previous languages. So, yeah. So there's that. Maybe that could be a person signifier. Me, and then human. I mean, it's literally got an H for human. It could be as simple as that. Then, like, I suppose I'm trying to see what are some other patterns here. Tower arguably looks in a warped kind of way a bit like a tower. I mentioned this last time. Wide base going up to a narrow point. I don't know what the extra little line coming from it would be. See, but here's the problem with what I've been saying. I've been thinking, could the cross indicate a verb? However, we've got talk here, which is obviously a verb, and it just simply isn't a cross. It just is not. It might not be the cross part of it. It might be the fact that there is that there's diagonal lines going through the center with a little horizontal bit at the top or the bottom, say, which I think all of them have in common to some degree. This one. So maybe, I guess my guess is that this one here is a verb. I'm just going to go with that for the time being. I'm going to guess this is a verb. But then, by that token, this one would also fit that description. A diagonal line with a little tick sort of at the end of it. Could be that. Could be that. Then you've got these ones that I don't know. I feel like these two have shapes in common, but I'm struggling with how to even describe it. All right. So we've got key. A key as well. Yeah. So key, noun. Yeah. Yeah. So this might be a noun. These two, I guess, to me, they seem to have a relation. They seem to have like a kind of a U shape part to them, you know, upside down U. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it, but I think you can see what I mean. Okay, so I don't know. Now, let me remind myself, at least with some more words. What's going on with you? New things are going on with you. So again, this could, you know, maybe this is a verb. It's sort of similar to seek, isn't it? With just a horizontal line in it. Maybe it's find. And then this. I don't know what this would be similar to, but I guess it looks like it has person in it. Or me. So me, something, me find something, maybe. Me something tower. Well, if it is find, me find tower doesn't, like it could make sense because you could be talking about how you came to be here. But I don't know. I would be inclined to think otherwise. What are you in tower? You are in the tower. All right. You're in the tower. It could be that you remain in the tower. Could be like stay. Seek, stay. I don't know. It could be that you hate the tower. Could be that you love the tower. I don't know. Maybe you guys are all... It's just because it's raining, it doesn't mean that this is necessarily a horrible dystopia. This might be me bringing a negative framing to all of this. Maybe you guys are having a great time. Maybe you love the tower. I'm inclined to think not. I feel like I'm getting the signals that this isn't good. Also, it's called Exile, so it doesn't seem like it's a good thing. Well, what if we just do what we've been doing and go, you know, put our first thought down. Hate. There we go. Why not? I hate something. I hate the tower. I mean, that would at least... that would at least, to me, kind of work with their whole vibe, you know. Sighs, going, being very, you know, dismissive gestures. So this is the one that has city images. We can't talk to this one. I mean, this is all done, right? I can't change any of this. We've succeeded. Hooray for us. I really want to go back. I'm really fighting. Obviously, there's all these new areas to check out, right? But I actually really want to go back to consider what I've seen in light of the new information that I have. All right. So this is a good point. This is a good point for me to say. This other thing that's been hanging on my mind in between episodes is that we found, so to get here, we opened up a blue door. We went through all of these, we went through this big adventure to find the right formula and the right materials to make a key, to make the correct key to get us in a blue door. Oh, when I say that, I'm thinking about blueprints. Anyway, I will not say anything more. But there are 2 other places that we've seen a blue door, and it takes a different kind of key. I was even thinking, like, all right, this has been on my mind in between episodes. I'm not doing like any like figuring out or anything like that in between episodes, as I've said before. I'm leaving that all for in the recordings, because I think that's the kind of game this is, right? For at least for me. But I just couldn't help my mind being interested in between episodes in the fact that we have a couple of blue doors that we haven't been able to open. They both seem to require keys. It might be the same key or a similar shaped key. I don't know. But it's different to the key that we've already used. Now, I did have a thought, like, do I need to actually, before I even, go through and do everything in this area, do I maybe actually need, or is it good for me? Should I go back to the alchemist area and try to make a key for those other remaining blue doors? And I thought, oh, that could be it. Like, because maybe these other blue doors, something that's easy to forget about, right? Maybe these other blue doors that are in previous areas are like an extra thing. Up until now, I've tended to think, and it has been the case so far, that this game leads you in the right direction. Like, you don't really need to do too much back and forthing. When you get through an area, you're kind of done with it. You can go back for seeing like nice interactions between people coming together, of course, but it's not necessary for the strict kind of core progress of the game. So I've tended to think, yeah, this game, like it leads you, it guides you along, it leads you towards progress, etc. But I did think, it's that just because that's been the case up until now, it doesn't mean that there can't be extra things that maybe you could do. Maybe these other 2 blue doors are extra things, and maybe it relies on you taking the initiative to go back to the alchemist area, use the machines there to make a different key to get into those other 2 blue doors and see other stuff. I'm really, 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 really interested to be able to open those other blue doors. But then when I thought about that, I thought, well, that surely can't be possible, because the machine where we made the successful key to get into this area, it, no matter what we put into it, materials-wise or instructions-wise, in the end, the key is made because of a completely hard-coded, a physical mold. And that mold is only for the key that we've managed to open. It's not a mold that would make the other kinds of keys that we need. So anyway, that's just to let you know what I was thinking. So I actually, as interested as I am in doing something about those other blue doors, I don't know what possibilities there are to do there. But at first I was hopeful that maybe there was something. Anyway, so looking at this, we may very well get answers to sort of what I was just talking about. There we go. Okay, so isn't this interesting right here? Well, check it out. Surely this needs the word for key, the word for open, and the word for door. We have key. We have key. We do not have the others, at least confirmed. But what if I do actually have them? What if I do actually have them? So these are the 3 words. Like, I could imagine, just shape-wise, I could imagine this being door. But then it would be the something door, something tower. That would be the name of the tower. I don't know, it could be multiple door sun tower, I don't know. Multiple door level tower. Don't know. I could imagine this being open, to be honest, because the shape of it sort of looks like, all right, here's the thing. The shape of it looks like a shape, like a windmill, let's say, that is turning anti-clockwise. And in addition to that, the first thing that came into my mind is, oh great, anti-clockwise, because usually the thing that you do to remember, say, which way you open or close a screw or something like that is, well, I don't know what you use, but where I come from, we use, what is it, like lefty loosey, righty tighty. I don't know if that's familiar to you. If it isn't familiar to you, it probably sounds really weird. But it's a good way of remembering that usually, you know, like which way anti-clockwise or clockwise would open or close something. What if this is open? I'm just going to give it a go. It's kind of my best guess. Because it looks like it turns. It looks like, yeah. In that case, what would door be? It's not that. Okay. That was my first guess. Let me just try once again. If this is open, door? No. I'm not going to like do this with all of them because I think like let's just go away and, you know, find more words. But well, my current guess, right, isn't it, that the horizontal line at the bottom might be noun? No, okay, it's good enough for me, good enough for me. All right, cool, cool. So we've at least got, probably we can open this door by finding 2 more words. That's what I'm gonna guess. Oh. Dang. They're gaming. I mean, it was hard not to think of gaming when I first saw them, except I suppose then what it seems like they're looking at on their screens is actually like sort of slow life, you know, immersive YouTube videos, you know, like comfort videos. But these guys are playing a game together. That's so interesting, and I can't interact with any of you. That is so interesting. I wonder if we're going to have a word for game. Oh, it's another one of these. Okay. What is this? This looks like... It is... This is stairs, but like my immediate thought when I saw this is Qbit. If anybody knows Qbit, it's an old game I grew up with. This looks like the platforms in Qbit. That is super cool. Super cool stair design. I'm going to say not very good stair design for at least humanoid bipeds, let's say. Interesting, but maybe it's stair design. Maybe it's a great stair design for something else. Oh, so good. Yes, more words. Oh, okay. Oh, death, our favorite. Death. Go. Go is great. Yes. This one. Yeah, okay. So this is 2 words from this language. Well, surely, hang on. If this is, yeah. Look, if this is me, I'm going to go ahead and say this is you. Surely, surely. Yeah, all right, I'm going to go with that. But then, but, God, how does this work? Because these have to move together. In fact, these don't move at all. These are, oh no, no, it does. Okay, all right, I was like, how can it be 2 characters with the, you know, it can't be 2 characters with the same meaning. No, okay, of course not. No, it can't, in fact. So this is you, isn't it? Yeah, this is you. So this, oh, so exciting. This goes here. This is, we'll say this is you. Yep, because this can't be moved. Okay, so if this is you, then this has to mean that this is death. Surely. I'm just gonna put it in. I'm just going to put it in. I think that's because this is Yeah, this has to be on this spot because this doesn't move. This is you. Oh, well, I think. I mean, it's my best guess. It's a strong guess, I think. Which means, yeah, that this has to match up with this one. So I think that's death. This then is up and great. So this. So where is death? That goes there, I think. Does that match up? You. Yes, it does. 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 But this can't be right because we have two characters from the same language here. We don't know. They can't both be go. Oh my god, this is so exciting. I love this puzzle. I love this puzzle. Because I love thinking about, yeah, like I love puzzles where like you have a certain amount of information that's confirmed. You can have a certain amount of information that you're kind of having a good guess at. And it's by bit kind of filling in the gaps that more good guesses or more confirmations are sort of steadily revealed, you know? So I think this is really cool. But we know that, but you're using relationships to fill in some of the gaps. In this case, spatial relationships. Like this one has to sit in relation to this one, you know, that sort of thing. Help. Okay, help is there. So we've got go pass here, go pass. So we put this here. Yes, that did it. That did it. These are almost a little bit too quick. I'd actually love to keep going with them, but oh my god, look how much we just got. Okay, interesting. So you makes a lot of sense. It's an upside down me. Go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess if I think about the diagonal line with the tick at the end as a verb, makes sense. Makes sense. Help, it still has as a verb, it still has a diagonal line with a tick at the end. But I don't really know how to reason any of the other parts of it equal help. Same as I don't really know how to reason any of the other parts of it, of this character, you know, signify go. Door. Huh. Yeah, so again, yes, door has the horizontal line at the bottom. So it's fitting my noun guess. Yeah. Up. Yeah, I mean, it's neither a verb or a noun, so it doesn't have those aspects to it. But it does indeed seem like you've got kind of a baseline, let's say a little baseline diagonal line, and then you have a kind of an upward movement from that line. And then dead, which maybe in a way you can just sort of think of it as like a cross, like a line going, you know, over. This is over, this is done. Aha. All right, well, I won't disturb you guys. Have fun, I suppose. So we have two of the characters now for this, but we don't yet have open. You know what? I'm gonna see if we get open before I come back here. Let's leave it. Let's leave it as something fun. We might not even have the character for open yet, but yeah. Let's see if we can confirm it first before we try to go through the door. Just for fun, just for funsies. Let me just remind myself. Yeah, we didn't have a conversation here. Okay. Alright. Didn't have a conversation here. Hang on though, since I'm going in this direction, this is a chance for me to head back to these people over here. Yeah. Through the door, through the door. So this one, I guess I'm sort of just noticing as well that this person isn't moving. That's concerning, isn't it? They don't have an image. Do they just lay there without input? Or are they having a sleep, like they're stuck in there? Other people don't seem to be... Hang on, we can't talk to you, we can talk to you. Like, this person can remove their helmet. And I suppose they don't appear, I don't know, they don't appear to be stuck in the chair. Tower, go away. Oh! What are they using for go away? Go. That's interesting. So could this be the tower is closed? Go away. Do we already have close? The tower is... It's not the tower is dead. It could be the tower is closed. Go away. Could be the tower is broken. Go away. I mean, I did originally think this could be open. Maybe it's closed? Which would, again, close would match verb style. The tower is closed, go away. Could be. Okay, well, since I'm here, I might as well go back here. Yeah, those are the weird stairs, just from an angle where I didn't really notice it. Yeah, we still don't have the tower name. Yeah, and yep, so this is the same information we had. Okay. Alright, God, there's so many directions to go in. I'm gonna go here. Since I've come here... Ah. Exile. But what are you saying? Are you saying exile is through this door? Huh. And this... Ah, this connects... No, this is different to what I thought. Okay. Right. What is this person looking at? This is what I'm trying to figure out here. I'm staring very hard. I mean, to me it seems like an airplane. Hang on, do we get a close-up view? Yes. It's a horse! They're riding a horse! Go away, I'm riding my horse. If it is hate, wow. Go away, I hate you. I mean, it could be, and they could just be really full of negativity, really antisocial, because they've been exiled. Because they're sort of in a weird gaming prison. They're riding a horse. Maybe they're playing Zelda. Maybe that's Epona. If it's not, go... Like, they're definitely unhappy, and they're definitely not feeling talkative. Go away, I... It's not going to be I love you, is it? Go away, I... It could be dismiss you, ignore you, hate doesn't seem... So this is someone going through a forest again. We saw that one before. This one... a disturbingly still person. I wonder if maybe we have to restore their vision. Restore their... Yeah, okay, alright, yeah, and that connects back to this area. Yeah, maybe that'll get them going again. Yeah, same kind of guess, I guess. Okay, alright. I reckon I could have a good guess at that door, but as I said, we'll leave it for now. Let's go up the stairs in this next area. Maybe they're all being forced to practice for tournaments. Oh, whoa, whoa. I think this is a big sun face. If you... Like it's got... Oh man, what the freaking hell? Oh, what is happening here? Lasers are going out the eyes upwards, and lasers are coming down into the mouth. What are we above here? So this could be a device unto itself, or this could be the roof of something like a room below. But the shape of it looks like a sun face, you know, like this looks like the outer edge of a sun, which would make sense. Many things are related to the sun. Oh, so could this be the thing that is controlling the weather here? That would make a lot of sense to me. And so maybe we can stop it and bring sun to this area. Maybe this whole area is a commentary on gamers like sitting inside and not getting enough vitamin D. Maybe it's all that. Wow, what a visual. Oh, speaking of, what? Wow. All I could do was kind of gasp and take that in. What a cool ass moment. What a cool ass freaking moment that was. So I mean, alright, this is the most important door then perhaps in the game. We found the important door that must take you to the sun or whatever god or whatever else is going on up there, sun god, etc. This is a very, very steep ramp-ish currently with some bumps in it, which would ordinarily make me think that we're meant to come down here, but maybe what it is that if you do the right thing, if you gain access, maybe this turns into stairs, a big tall staircase. As if we haven't climbed enough stairs already. my poor guy and their calves. maybe we're a really good walker. I'm a really good walker, by the way. My calves are in good shape, so I could take it. But I don't know about my guy. I don't know who I am. We seem to have done all right up until now, so let's assume we're good. Aha! This seems to be the same key that we've seen in the other. Two like blue doors. Exile. I know what it says, but I just feel the need to click on it. Exile. Okay. Oh my god. I thought the last room was amazing. I was like, wow, how unique and amazing. It is unique and amazing. And then you step in here and you get this. What this? What on earth? Oh, is this a hierarchy? Ah. No, it's not. It's the same character. Okay. All right. Okay. So, I didn't mention this before, but this was actually rattling around in my brain, that one of the problems is that obviously like there's sometimes more thoughts rattling in my brain than I can kind of like get out in a given moment. But what I was thinking is, you know, kind of in conjunction with my idea that this floor is actually maybe it's originally intended to be something different than what it's currently being used for, and especially than Exile. I guess my question is, what are these yellow terminals doing? What are they for? What we're doing is we're going up to them and we're comparing several different languages to fill in the gaps of this language. I mean, they're language learning machines. They're language teaching machines, in a sense. Why are they here? No, you know, like, when we have found codes for translation, in other spaces, they've usually been old stone panels and things that have been broken, either purposefully broken or perhaps just old. So it seems, certainly in the current state of the world, or of the tower's world, people, translation is a lost art, and people, therefore miscommunication has run rife. Prejudice, stereotyping, oppression have run rife. We've started to fix that by helping people translate across languages, but I guess it seems like that was maybe the original intention. There's an obvious, it's been obvious from like the get-go that there's an obvious Tower of Babel sort of theme going on here, but in a sense that, that in itself doesn't tell you what's actually happening here. I mean, like the basics of the Tower of Babel was God creating, like giving different languages to different groups of people who then had the problems of miscommunication and prejudice and all of that. Like it divided people to have their common language taken away. I think there is obviously like a sort of a loose idea in this game to do with that, but it seems very much to me that the different languages seem to have already been there in the origins. I don't know, hang on, let me have a think of what I'm looking at here, because actually this looks hand-drawn, right? It doesn't, this isn't like, what is this doing here? No, it doesn't really look like scrappy enough to sort of be like graffiti, but it's not printed, I suppose, in the way that this is. So it doesn't look, it looks kind of informal. It looks kind of informal. So it looks like what it's saying is, in this language, this is the word for man, human. In this language, this is the word for man, human. In this language, here, this is the word for man, human. Maybe it's kind of teaching people who know this language the same word in this language, in the bard language and in the devotee language. Has someone put this here? So I guess what I'm wondering is this a relic from a previous time where learning and communicating in different languages, putting effort into learning different languages, was a part of life in the tower? Or is this a more recent thing where people are trying to fight against the divisions that have arisen from not being able to communicate with each other? I'm wondering. Okay, we've got another chance to learn a whole bunch of new words. The same, I think, tower name at the top. This is exciting because this is our word for open. Great. Let's freaking do it. Let's do it. I'm so pumped for learning more words. I love this puzzle. Fear. Yeah, all right. Well, these two go together, but they don't go here. That's not. That's greetings. We don't know what this one is. Yeah, okay. So either way, this is not. So let's find the other nots. That's plural. Greetings. I don't know. That's not. So this goes here. And if this goes here, I'm just looking at what things are in relation to. Okay, if that goes here, not. I mean, it. Hang on, I'm struggling with the controls a little bit. There we go, up and down. Not. Yeah, alchemist language. No, but we already... Hang on, hang on. I meant to do this. Yeah, I needed to do that anyway. No, that's dead. That's what I was thinking of, actually. I was like, we already have the word for not. No, we do not. We're going to get the word not from this. Okay. All right, let's do our best. Okay, so open. Sorry, open doesn't go here. It does not. That. So maybe this is, I don't know. Would you think this is not? I don't know. Or would you think this is not? Obviously, all of our new words need to go on different spheres. If I had to guess, I don't know, I'm kind of inclined to think this is plural. Ah! That happened much quicker than I thought it would once again. I would actually... I would still love if these lasted longer because I really enjoy them. But when you get the right relationship, it makes all of the other relationships kind of fit together really easily. But it was just like, obviously these two are really similar, right? Like a very small. It's like they're almost like characters that are like punctuation. So that made sense to me that this is plural. Yeah, it makes sense that this is not. It's just a straight up line across. Wait, I mean, it actually does have a bit of a relationship to wait here. That's interesting. Greetings. Oh, because, well, this is my interpretation of it. If you imagine that central line in the middle is a person's torso, then kind of like the warrior language, there's one arm like that kind of with an elbow in the middle that is hanging down, and then the other arm on the other side is raised up in a greeting. That's how I see that. That's super cool. Open. Okay, because it does have, I mean, this is good. I feel like this is confirming my whole thing about the structure of verbs. It has what I think is our verb core with diagonal line with the tick on the end. And then it just has a little squiggle for, like if you follow that shape, like with your hand, it does kind of feel like open, like you're sort of turning something. Fear. Again, it has the verb. If we're talking about to fear as a verb, which I guess we are, maybe, that goes along with my theory, then, yeah, it has the verb construction. And again, it does have a little bit in common with its partner character here. Very oh, hang on. Sorry, he was writing something. Ah, he's done. Okay, I thought I was getting something else. Oh, well, we have so many already. Huh. So you need a key. Maybe more than that, but you at least need a key for us to do something there. Okay, I just had to pause. Well, the obvious thing to do. Here's my reasoning for thinking there must be something underneath this that we get to, because there's nothing we can interact with up here. So I think that this is simply showing the output from a room below. And I think we need to find a way to the room below. Yeah, like, why are these here? If this is Exile? Especially if it's Exile, because that means people are definitely not moving around. I guess, it's interesting. If you think about, all right, if we step back and just have a think about what's going on in this tower, aside from the whole idea about the sun dying and the plants and all of that sort of stuff, why are all of these different cultures, groups of people, different communities on different tiers isolated? Well, part of the reason, of course, is they are not communicating with each other. But why is that the case? The devotees want to go up. They want to talk to God. The warriors want to stop them. Why do the warriors want to stop them? The warriors have been told that the devotees are impure. They've been given, let's say, propaganda. So they've been told their duty is to continue to play a part in isolating the devotees. We can take a good stab, maybe, at the idea that perhaps the bards had a role in telling them that. I'm literally thinking back to that big, huge, wide, mural that we saw in the Warriors fort that showed the warriors arriving by ship because they saw a signal, they got a call to the tower. And then the second picture is of them talking to what seemed to be bards. What I'm trying to remember is, was it labelled bards? It probably was, like chosen ones it would have been. And I just remembered that they didn't have any feet. We've met the bards now, and they most certainly are people with feet. They're normal people. They're just kind of assholes. But what I was briefly thinking is, now that we've been through the alchemist tier, the alchemist level, they have this whole kind of character which is fairies, and I'm like, who are fairies? Is it the people here? Are the people here somehow fairies, or is there another people who are fairies? I had thought that the bards could be the fairies because they wear a similar kind of... What the fairies are wearing in the pictures looks very similar to what the bards are wearing, except the alchemists have a word for bards. So it seems like they're saying there are bards and then there are fairies. And what I was thinking is, could it be the fairies who seem to have given this propaganda to the warriors? I'm not sure. It could be that, but my memory... I could go back and look at the video and check, of course, but my memory is that that picture actually says chosen ones, I think, which would be the bards, saying, appearing to say, this is all interpretation on my part, appearing to say, like, hey, keep the devotees down, that's your duty. And then the warriors do exactly that, because they're really in love, they're really impressed by the bards and their music. So there's that. Then you have the bards. Like, the warriors also, they elevate the bards so much that I guess they're like, we just do what you say, and also you guys are too good for us, so we don't go up. The bards, of course, they think that they're better than everyone, so they even have their own subclass of people who are on their own level, let alone letting anybody else come up to them. So that also, they've been told they are, or maybe, if we're imagining that there's some kind of higher power or higher source of manipulation going on here, they believe or have been told that they are special ones and better than others. So that is keeping them isolated, if you get me. But then what else is keeping them isolated on the other end of it is that there is a monster, I think. One, I think they've convinced themselves they don't want to go up because they've found beauty, and the alchemists are above them, and they're like, we're not going for that nerd crap. Like, we like music and art. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Those are great things, obviously. But but also there's a monster. So that's possibly the real reason that they don't go up, is because going up, would get them eaten by a monster, perhaps. I don't think these people can't do anything. They can't pour themselves a drink, let alone defend themselves from an actual dangerous monster, I have so learned. So that keeps them isolated. And then the alchemists... So the alchemists are... Yeah, this one is a little bit trickier to think about because the alchemists don't seem to be prejudiced people, really. But they do seem to have only discovered that they are brothers with the bards through learning, through book learning. So before that, did they have prejudice against the bards? Do most of them still have prejudice against the bards? I don't know. I guess what I'm just organically, naturally thinking is that the alchemists are isolating themselves through their obsession with the key, with knowledge in order to find the formula, in order to make the key, in order to come up. And maybe this is just a wild sort of guess, really, but maybe it's because they think the fairies are up here and they want to see the fairies. I don't know. But I guess what I'm saying is their isolation. Well, here's the other reason they probably don't go down, because there's a freaking monster. So maybe the reason they don't go down is also because there's a monster. The same reason the bards don't go up. So we can make sense of that. They're also isolated from coming up because they don't know how to do it yet. They don't have the means to do it. They desperately want to, but they don't have the means. Same as the devotees. The devotees wanted to get through the gate, but they couldn't. They weren't allowed to. So, yeah, anyway, that's just, I suppose, like, it's just an important, it's a really interesting thing, right? Why are each of these communities actually isolated from mixing up or down outside of the question of miscommunication, you know? It's interesting to think about. And then, so what's the deal with this? Well, we don't know much about these people yet. Why are they here? Who are they? What's going on? How do they see themselves? I don't know. But we can certainly see that everyone here seems to be depressed. There's an idea of exile, but I don't know if it's a top-down or a bottom-up idea of exile. And I suppose it's just really hard being a modern person, and, you know, especially, you know, in a kind of coming from like a Western culture and everything like that, and especially being someone who does play games and consumer and within this modern culture. It's just hard not to make the leap, like to kind of overlay my own, you know, my own assumptions or my own ideas on what I'm seeing here and going, these people are spending too much time indoors and they're depressed and they're exiling themselves. Maybe they also couldn't get through the blue door to go down, and maybe they also can't get through the blue door to go up, as we've just seen. So actually, maybe more than, you know, maybe being exiled is part of it. Maybe being depressed and listless and, you know, unmotivated is part of it. But maybe it literally just is that they didn't have the keys to go up or to go down. That could just be the thing that's keeping them isolated. It could be neither of those other things. Anyway. Okay. All right. That's a lot of thinking. I wanted to let you guys know where I was at. Now, here is also where I'm at. I'm going to go up here. And I'm going to go down here. And now, without guessing, we know what goes here. Key. Open. And door. What was door again? Door with the horizontal line, that's right. Hey, key open door. Excellent. Okay, now on this cliffhanger, I'm gonna have to leave this episode here. I'm sorry. I'm so excited to see what's in this door, but it's time. I just have to. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my rambles and my mad theories. I'm having so much fun with this game, and I love thinking through things anew with each new step, and either getting what seems to be confirmation for my ideas, or getting, you know, like having my ideas challenged, which is probably even more exciting. And then about like the same thing, like there's kind of there's kind of the ideas about what's going on in this tier, and then there's the ideas about what's going on in the tower and in the relationships between the different communities, and then there's the sort of the history, like the lore and sort of the wider history. There's the thematic kind of ideas that are going on, and then there's the languages and the relationship between the languages. This game is so layered, and like learning is such a freaking joy. Learning and thinking and wondering and considering and theorizing in this game is such a joy. There's just so much layered richness to all of the ideas and concepts and knowledge in this game, on top of it just being fun and beautiful. I'm having such a good time. Anyway, we're going to step through this door in the next episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you for being such a truly, like, very sincerely, thank you for being such an amazing Chants of Sennaar community. It's truly been a joy to put these videos out, and I'm so excited to see what you guys think every single time I put another video out. This time is no exception. I can't wait to see your comments. See you in the next episode. Take care. Bye bye.